one of the things, and I think it's an important point to cover, because you're a charter holder working in the industry now, so you may have opinions on this as well, being on the other side of the exams, is what we've been seeing in the pass rates in the exams. And with I think you're getting a lot of negative sentiment towards the value of the process, the value of the charter at this point in time. I'm seeing more and more of it, like the charter is not going to be worth it, get the CPA, automation is going to replace everybody anyways, what's the point, it's a waste of time. You're seeing more and more of that, especially with these lower and lower pass rates, because who knows, like there's a lot of theories about why the pass rates are low, and we've heard CFAI's theory about why it's low, and I think you and I are on the same page on this, that maybe it's a variable, but it's not. It's R squared, I think, is rather low.
Right.
I don't think that it explains, the whole story. I think there's a bigger story here. But in terms of the value of the charter, and the last video I did talked about it in terms of the limited research that's available out there, in terms of what the charter does do for you. And the conclusion is it does get you access to jobs that you otherwise might not have gotten. But in getting those jobs, you're paid no more than somebody who doesn't have the charter. And the charter is only worth it if it makes you better at your job. If it doesn't make you better at your job, then no, it was not worth it. As far as the long-term viability of the charter versus CPA, which it seems to be compared to, I mean, if you're going to reduce charter holders to analysts that are reading nothing but financial statements, okay, I'll give the edge to the CPA on that one.
Balance sheets and
because not only can they understand what's going on the statements, they have a deeper understanding of the transactions behind it that made that stuff came about. I'll give it to them. I'll give the edge to them on that one, especially if they want to spot something that is odd. I would definitely give the edge to the CPA. But most CPAs have a very poor understanding of economics. Most CPAs aren't asset managers in the least.
Yeah, trading and portfolio management, no.
Yeah, so you're bringing all of level 1, 2, 3 down to FRA. When you start saying that CPA is the way to go, you're bringing it down to just FRA. The charter is so much broader. You have two sides. You have the analyst side, and you have the asset management side. In my opinion, the asset management side is the far sexier side of the industry than the analyst side. But usually, you'll work your way up through analysis first before you actually are in a position to manage assets, or at least until you've proven yourself to be able to manage assets. But it's the far sexier side of the industry. So I don't know that CPA can get to that level, or that it would be recognized. Oh, you have a CPA. Here's a portfolio. You've been an accountant for 20 years. You should be able to manage assets. That I don't see those kind of moves happening in organizations where the CFO heads down into accounting and says, "Who's your best accountant? We have a small cap portfolio that needs managing."
Right.
I don't see that happening. So I don't think that the charter itself is under any kind of long-term threat.
No.
I think what it's seeing right now is short-term volatility as it finds its new home in computer-based testing, as it finds the perfect mix of the types of questions to have on the exam, as it readjusts its curriculum to be more in line with a shorter exam, with a smaller exam. These are growing pains. These are transition pains. And with that, you're also seeing volatility in sentiment that I think will go away over time. That those that hold the course, I think, will be I think, rewarded quite well with this, because it still is a difficult designation to get, as it should be. I mean, if anybody and everybody can get it, what would be the value?